back with another Empties. Guys, I'm back. I know I've been MIA and I'm sorry. If there's one thing you can rely on me for, it's collecting my rubbish and sharing it with you all. I love keeping everything that I'm using and then sharing all of my beauty goodness with you. And no, I haven't been on here for a good while now. I've had a couple of months off. It's been a couple of months. It's just been such a busy few months. It's just been a lot. I'm going to really try my best to get on now between now and Christmas. I'm going to try and get back. I'm not doing Vlogmas this year just because it's not going to happen and I'm not going to commit to it, but I am going to try and get back on the regular videos. So if you're not subscribed, get yourself subscribed. Today is a beauty empties. I've got a couple of Zara hauls coming up. I've got a couple more vlogs planned. So I'm sorry and I'm back. Hopefully. Not promising, but I think so. Today I'm coming at you with another beauty empties. You always love when I do these videos and it just makes me feel like old school YouTube and I just love it. These are some of my favourite videos to watch. I used to watch them all the way back when and I just love them. I love finding out what other people are using, what is worth the coin, what is not. I forgot how to intro, I forgot how to do a YouTube video, but please hit that subscribe button if you're not already, and without further ado, let's have a look. I have two of these in here. I think I spoke about this in my last MDs. I can't actually remember. But I have two of these in here. I didn't collect every single one. I go through one a week. So there would be like 100 in at this point. I don't know why I kept two, but I did. These are the Simprove Daily Live and Active Bacteria supplements. These two are actually in the pineapple flavour. I had the strawberry or the raspberry, whichever one it was, like the berry flavour, and I was on that one for months. And then they brought out this new pineapple flavour and I thought I would give it a go. So I swapped my subscription over to be the pineapple. I do have to say I prefer the berry one. They both don't taste very nice, I'm going to be honest. They don't taste like pineapple or like berries. They kind of taste a little bit like bile. However, it's completely drinkable. Like once you get used to the taste, you just knock it back and it's done. It doesn't taste bad, it just doesn't taste good. It just kind of tastes like a bit like a, honestly, like it tastes a little bit like phlegm. I know phlegm like doesn't really have a taste, but it's just kind of that, like, I think I've said enough. But in my last empties, I really raved about these, if I remember rightly, and I said that they were, you know, one of the best things that I'd done. I was really enjoying taking them. I was enjoying having them on a morning. I was staying super consistent with it, which I still agree with. And I do have to be honest, over the last couple of months, I have just generally felt better in myself. I don't necessarily think they've helped me with my bloating. That is the real reason that I started taking them. I get extremely bloated. Even when I wake up on a morning, I can literally look 6 months pregnant. And I thought this was going to be my saving grace. I don't think it is. However, I will admit I have just been feeling better. I've had a little bit more energy. I've just been feeling a little bit better in myself. But with these things, I've said this so many times, I always struggle with what to put it down to. It could be hormonal, it could be the Simprove, it could just be that the weather's been a little bit nicer. Like, you just don't know what's going on internally, so it's really hard to justify the cost of these things when you can't literally prove it, if that makes sense. Another thing is I've just been on a really long trip and I didn't take my Simprove with me, so I think I went without it for maybe 16 or 17 days, something like that, so a good chunk of time, and I didn't notice a difference. I didn't feel any different. My bloating wasn't any significantly worse, like nothing was really different. So it got me thinking whether it is worth the investment, because it is expensive. I think it's around £50 a month. If you manage to get a discount code, you might be able to get it for like £35–40 a month. So it is expensive. It's basically like an extra gym membership. And now I just don't know whether to trial not having this for a short period of time and see how I feel. I've got one bottle left in the fridge and I'm thinking I might finish it, cancel my subscription for a couple of months and just see how I get on. So I will report back. But if anyone has any experiences or stories or can prove to me that this is actually doing something and I should continue with it, I will pay the £40 a month. But until then, I don't know anymore. That long trip made me think that they don't do anything. Now, something that does do something, the opposite of don't do anything, is this shampoo and conditioner. This is the Nioxin Cleanser Shampoo and Scalp Therapy Revitalizing Conditioner. This is the one for natural hair, so when you don't have colour in your hair, and for light thinning. So they have lots of different versions. If you've never heard of Nioxin, it's a hair care brand that is especially for people suffering with hair loss, males and females. They have shampoos, conditioners, treatments, leave-ins, all of the good stuff. They also have ones for natural hair, coloured hair, and then you've got light thinning, medium thinning, medium thinning, like extreme thinning, all the different variations. I use these when now? Honestly, it was a good long while ago. It was probably over 6 months ago that I used these. I don't know how I've managed to hold on for them for so long, but I was suffering really, really badly. If you watch my vlogs, with hair loss, I had so much thinning. I had completely, like, not bald patches, but like I was suffering with a lot of hair loss. Every single time I was brushing my hair, washing my hair, it was coming out in clumps. I've since learned that mine was hormonal, so thankfully it wasn't permanent. I didn't do anything specifically to fix it, but I did do a lot of research, and these types of things are usually 6 to 9 month ballpark until hormones kind of level out, and then it tends to tail off. Mine thankfully has stopped now. However, one thing that definitely helped me lose less hair was the Nioxin range. So I used their shampoo, their conditioner. I also used a leave-in treatment, which I don't think I have. I must have thrown that out by accident. And I also used an overnight serum that I would put in my hair. So I kind of went to town on it. But I will say I only had to use it for maybe 2 months, maybe 3 months, absolute max. And I really, really, really noticed a difference. The difference in my hairline was incredible. All of these kind of sparse patches started to thicken out really quite quickly. And obviously hair growth takes a really long time. So the hair that's come through isn't full length as of yet, but I have so many baby hairs kind of around this area, which is a little bit annoying because it kind of like sticks up and makes me look like Einstein a lot of the time, and it can get really irritating, especially if I'm in the gym and I'm sweaty. It's kind of all over the place. However, I'm thankful for the growth, and eventually they will be full long strands and my hair will be a lot thicker. The only thing I will caveat is some of the Nioxin products contain minoxidil, so just be careful, because I've also read a lot of things about once you start using minoxidil, either on your hair or as a supplement, start taking it, you then can't stop. Otherwise, the second you stop, the hair loss goes back to the way it was, or it gets worse. I'm not sure how true that is. I don't really know. I can only speak for me and what I've used. I have now stopped using Nioxin. I don't use the serum. I don't use anything anymore just because I feel like I don't need it. However, do your research. If it's going to make it worse in the long run, maybe stay away. But just double check the ingredients, whether it has minoxidil in or not, because sometimes that can be prescription strength and it might cause more problems than it's worth. However, for me, this was a lifesaver. So definitely check it out if you are struggling with thinning or fine hair. I have a couple of rogue food products in here. I have 3 hot chocolates. I don't know why I have kept these, but I have, so we'll just do them together. I have the Cadbury Highlights Milky Choc drink. This one only has 38 calories per serving, which we love. What I actually do with this is, I am partial to a hot chocolate, don't get me wrong. However, if I'm going to have a hot chocolate, I kind of want to have like a decadent, luxurious hot chocolate, especially now we're coming into the winter months. So these ones are more my go-to for like a hot chocolate drink. These are the Whittard hot chocolates. This one is in the orange flavour. And then this one is in Rocky Road. Whittard is my favourite hot chocolate brand. All of their hot chocolates are like super thick, super luxurious, really nice and decadent. You can do them in a nice mug, cozy up on the couch. The winter months are here and it's just absolutely stunning. They have so many nice flavours, and I managed to go through 2 of these. I don't know how, considering it's been summer, but I managed to go through a Rocky Road and an orange. Whittard, shout out. However, with the Cadbury's one, what I would do, I mean, if I was feeling like extra on top of my health and fitness, I might have a hot chocolate. Who's at my door? Hello. Oh, it's my Zara parcel. Big sleigh. That's exciting. Zach can get that. That is very exciting. So what I would do with the Cadbury's one, unless I was feeling super on top of my health and fitness and I wanted to have a hot chocolate drink, I would actually mix this in with my oats. I love me some overnight oats and I love a chocolate flavour. And I ran out of my chocolate flavoured protein powder and I just didn't get on to order more. And I really, really, really fancied oats, and I had this in the cupboard and I thought, let me just do a little experimente. Pop some of this in with the oats, mix it in, a little bit extra milk or extra water just to let it dissolve a little bit more. Cadbury flavoured oats. I'm sorry, I don't know if I'm late to the game. I feel like I'm discovering this and maybe everybody in the world is doing this. However, adding in hot chocolate powder into your oats, the oats were literally Cadbury flavoured. It was incredible. So I need to restock on this because 38 calories. I mean, it says low sugar. Yeah, it's not that bad, but it's bloody delicious. This is actually one of my favourite hair care products. I'm not sure if I've had this in an Empties before, probably, because I've gone through a good few bottles of this. This is the Elvive Hyaluronic Moisture Plump Serum, which is basically a hyaluronic acid for your hair. Yes, that's right, people. You heard me correct. Hyaluronic acid for your hair. I love hyaluronic acid. I don't necessarily have dry skin, but sometimes my makeup can go on a little bit patchy and a little bit uneven if my skin isn't like super, super hydrated and plump. So, I mean, getting into skincare. So I just love hyaluronic acid as an ingredient in general, as I've seen what it's done for my skin. So when they came out with a hair version, I've been on this hype for probably 2 or 3 years I've been using this product for, and I absolutely love it. I use it probably every other day, I would say. Definitely on wet hair. If I've washed my hair, I'll put it through. But the beauty about this is you can put it on dry hair as well. So I use it as part of my like nighttime beauty skincare routine, probably every other night, just otherwise it runs out way too quickly. I just kind of spray it through the ends, comb it through either with my hands or with a brush, and just let it dry. It just adds hydration. I would only use it on the ends of my hair because that is where my hair tends to be the driest. It's kind of nice and shiny up here, but the ends can tend to get like a little bit dry and a little bit ratty sometimes. So this is an absolute godsend. I think it's about £10, and if you haven't jumped on the hype, you need to. I have 2 lip balms in here, which is super random, but one thing about me is I'm always going to have a lip balm either in my hand, in my pocket, in my bag, in my car. Like, I need to have hydrated lips at all times. Is there anything worse than having dry lips, especially in the winter when they start to crack if they bleed? It literally sends shivers down my spine. I need to have moist lips at all times. So I have 2 in here. These are actually 2 of my favourite lip balms. This is the Palmer's Cocoa Butter Formula. This one is so nice. Again, super, super hydrating. I think it might have SPF in it as well, so good if you're in the sun. And then this one, surprisingly, is also one of the best lip balms I've ever used, and it is Boots' own brand. It's Boots Moisturising Lip Balm in the scent or the flavour Rose. I think it's probably like £1 or something crazy like that, and it is actually so, so, so good. So, moisturise your lips, people. Speaking of hyaluronic acid, I have in here, this is the Garnier Skin Active Hyaluronic Acid Replumping Serum. So this is just Garnier's version of their hyaluronic acid. I do really, really like this. However, it's not my favourite hyaluronic acid that I've used. My favourite is definitely the Medicate one, but it's so, so, so expensive, so I don't actually use that all of the time. My second favourite is probably the most inexpensive, and it's the Inky List. I love that hyaluronic acid. I go back to it all of the time. The texture, the hydration, everything is just unmatched. This one, it's a nice one, but it's just not my favourite. I also hate these bottles because I feel like I can't get all of the product out. I feel like the dropper doesn't go all the way to the bottom, and then I just can't get everything out of the bottom, which just feels like such a waste to me. Also, mind my nails. I know they are so outgrown, but my appointment's next week. I'm desperados. Nothing bad to say about it, just nothing overly good to say about it. However, hyaluronic acid in general, you should add it into your skincare routine. It's so good for hydration. Like, can't recommend it enough. Morning, nighttime, evening, noon, when you're asleep, just you can use it whenever you want. With any other ingredients, any point of the day, it's a game changer. Sticking with skincare for a second, I have in here, this is the Drunk Elephant Retinol. This is their 1% retinol serum. I say serum, it's actually like a moisturizer. It's more like a cream. It's quite thick. It's actually bright yellow. I don't know if there's even like 1 pump left in here. I really don't think there is. But it's actually bright yellow, which is fun. That's one thing I actually love about it. I thought that was just a little bit fun. One thing I hate about it is the bottle. Like, I don't know if you've seen that. Oh, it's not going to do it now, but it like locks there. It like locks and you can't get the product out. Every now and again it'll just get stuck, like there. It just gets stuck and it doesn't go down, and you have to really press it in. It's annoying, okay? Frequently, I'd be trying to use it and it would literally just get completely jammed. I couldn't get the product out. Also, I feel like the product is a little bit of a trick because when you pull it off... Oh, I broke it. See, this is rubbish. I hate this. The bottle... I can't get it off now. There. The bottle is actually a lot smaller. Like, the product that you get is so much smaller than this tube. You think this whole thing is full of product. You're actually losing all those corners of product because it's round. Like, it's just a lot smaller. So don't be fooled into thinking that you're getting a massive product. You actually only get 30 mils. You actually only get this really small amount, which I was kind of tricked by that when I picked this up and when I bought it. I was like, oh, it's this like huge thing. And this is not cheap. I want to say this was like, honestly, probably £70 or something wild like that. In terms of the product itself, it is a 1% retinol, so it is quite strong. So if you're a newbie to retinol or just a newbie to skincare, I definitely wouldn't recommend starting with this product. I would definitely recommend starting with like a 0.2, 0.5, working your way up to the 1%. I've been in the retinol game for a while now, so I was quite happy with the 1%. However, I don't think it did anything. I don't think it worked. I don't think it was worth the money. It's definitely not one of the best retinols that I've used. I'm not going to buy it again. I'm not going to buy it again, and that says a lot. It takes a lot for me to repurchase like a £70 moisturiser. However, blown away by Medicate products I've used at that price. What other brands? Elemis products I've used at that price. This, no. It's just a no. This is a really random product. This is a Victoria's Secret mini perfume. I don't really know what this even smells like or where this has come from. Oh, that's delicious. It's called Very Sexy, and I can confirm it is very sexy. Any left? No, nothing. Another thing about me, as well as a lip balm, I'm always going to have a mini perfume. You can always count on me. I am the girly on a night out with the mini perfume in her bag. I just collect testers. Like, you know, anytime you're out and about, you're in the mall or whatnot, and people just give you testers of perfume. You either say no or you put them in the bin. I keep them. And then they're like my little night out perfumes. Like, I just put them in my handbag, and I've always got like a little tester of like Chanel or Paco Rabanne, or like a really nice fragrance that I've just got all these mini testers for. Also pop them in my work bag, pop them in my gym bag. So I've just always got little mini perfumes. You never know when you're going to be caught needing a perfume. You never know when you're going to get a bit sweaty and just need a bit of a refresh, you know? So always have mini perfumes on deck, and apparently I ran out of this one. You don't have to spend much, just literally keep the free samples that you get given. I just have like a little, like a plastic container, and I just keep them all in. Then anytime I'm going out, I just pick one and off I pop. Sticking with fragrance, this is the Skinny Dip London Raspberry Ripple Body Mist. I've said this before, I think I said it in my last Empties. I love me a body mist for the gym. I'm a gym girly. I wake up every morning, go to the gym at 6 AM, and the last thing I'm doing is putting on my Chanel perfume to go to the gym. It's not going to happen, but I also don't want to stink. So I need to find a happy medium. I need to find somewhere in the middle. In a 2, 3, 4, £5 at a stretch body spray is as far as I'll go. I'm also not wearing my Sol de Janeiro £28 body spray at the gym either. That's also not happening. £5 is my budget, okay? I think these Skinny Dip ones are £4 maybe. I like it. It's nice. It's small. You only get 75 millilitres. And I will say the Home Bargains ones top this for me. I spoke about them in my last Empties. I've got about 7 of them in that fragrance basket there. The Home Bargains £2.99 Sol de Janeiro dupes. Top it every time. Every time. My absolute favourite. The one I'm using at the minute is the blue one. It's called Honey and Coconut. And I love it. It smells delicious. It was £2.99. It's a 250 millilitre bottle. It's absolutely huge. And it's, you can't go wrong. You literally cannot go wrong. It's half the price, double the size, smells nicer. You can't go wrong in my opinion. But just body sprays, body mists in general, absolute game changer if you're a gym girly. Like, no brainer for me. As well as suffering with hair loss, one thing I also suffer with is a really dry scalp. I don't necessarily have dry skin, but I have a really dry scalp, which means especially in the winter, I can get really flaky scalp. All the kind of white bits that you end up with in your hair that are literally just dead skin. I know it's a bit gross, but you know, we're human. It happens. So one thing that I was trialing to combat that is this. This is the Inky List Salicylic Acid Exfoliating Scalp Treatment. Comes in a little bottle like this. Salicylic acid is really good for exfoliating either on your skin or on your scalp as well. So I always try and incorporate, especially in the winter, again, a salicylic acid shampoo, shampoo, or like a scrub. So before I wash my hair, I'll go in with like a scrub, try and really exfoliate all of the dead skin off before I wash my hair. That way, if you've got the bulk of it off in the shower, when you get out the shower, dry your hair, it's not there to like flake off, you know what I mean? So this is a treatment that you put in your hair 10 minutes before you go in the shower. So you literally just drop it onto your scalp, rub it in, leave it for 10 minutes, and then get in the shower and wash your hair. I will say if you leave it any longer than 10 minutes, it does start to burn a little bit, which is not good. So you do need to set a timer and make sure you only leave it on for 10 minutes. I don't know how strong it is. Maybe I'm really sensitive, but I don't know. It was starting to burn me a little bit if I left it on for any longer, if I forgot about it. I do think it works. However, I don't think you necessarily need it. I was using this in tandem with like a salicylic acid scrub or a salicylic acid shampoo, and I feel like you just don't need both. The reason being, when I ran out of this, because it is again only a small bottle, you only get 50 milliliters. By the time you put that on your whole scalp, it honestly only lasts about less than 10 washes. So I ran out of this a lot before I ran out of the big scalp scrub that I was using, and then nothing changed. When I stopped using this, it still was exactly the same. So I feel like it was the scalp scrub that was doing the work, and the one I was using was the Christoph Robin exfoliating scalp scrub. Can't recommend that enough. It's absolutely unreal. It's very expensive. I think it's about £40–50, but it's stunning, and I feel like that worked a lot better than this, and I just feel like you don't necessarily need this. These are an absolute favourite of mine. These are the My Protein Flave Drops. These are in vanilla. I put these in every single thing ever. Like literally, you name it, I put these in it. I put them in hot chocolates, I put them in oats, I put them in even just like cereal with milk, I put them in yogurt, I put them in coffees, I literally put them in everything. And this has just reminded me that I need to reorder the vanilla flavour. The one I have at the minute is I think toffee, which I really enjoy. And I also have a white chocolate one that's sat in my cupboard that I just cannot get away with. Like I cannot have that white chocolate one. It is so overly sweet. Even with like 2 drops, I'm like, it just tastes like full on syrup. Whereas these, I can put like 10 drops of the vanilla in and I'm like, loving life. 2 of the white chocolate, rank. Don't like the white chocolate one. Do love the vanilla one. Need to restock on these because my coffees actually haven't been the same without them. So I do need to get me a restock on the vanilla drops. I can't rave about these enough. I think they're £2 or £3, maybe something really cheap, and they last ages because you only need, like I say, like I think 5 drops maximum in anything that you do, and they're just absolutely stunning. They come in loads of different flavours, and I need to restock. Next up, I actually have a face mask. This is the L'Oreal Paris Pure Clay Bright Mask. It's actually a bit dirty, so sorry about that, but this is their clay mask range, and this is the yellow one, the brightening one. I am completely out of this. I love these masks. Like, I actually love them. They're super affordable. They're very old school beauty to me. Like, I remember buying these in Superdrug probably when I was like 12, and I've still got them in my drawer. Well, not the same ones, but I've still got the same mask in my drawer now. My favourite one way back in the day was the red one. It was like red algae, and I'm not sure what it was for. I think that one was like clearing or something like that. This is the yellow one, and this is the brightening. I honestly think these work really, really well. And as well as that, it's just like a little bit of a gimmick as well. Like having like the clay mask on, it kind of really, really reminds me of like chick flicks. When they'd put their mask on, it would always be like a clay mask that they'd like paint on, and they'd put like the cucumbers on their eyes, like very clueless, 13 going on 30, all that vibe. So I love putting a clay mask on. I just feel like it really romanticizes the experience. A sheet mask's great, and a serum, it's all great, but a clay mask for me just feels like, right, I'm going to sit down, I'm going to put my clay mask on, I'm going to put my beauty headband in, I'm going to read my book, I'm going to romanticize it. You can feel it hardening on your skin. It's super satisfying, and I love it. But on top of that, I feel like they also do work very, very well. This one says it evens tone and illuminates. I think it does do that. I think it gives you a nice little glow when you wash it off, and I really like them. So this is, again, the yellow one, but I know that they definitely have like a red, a blue, a charcoal one. I think they have a black one. There's a whole range of them, and I really enjoy them. Last up in my basket of tricks, I have the Lemmy Glows. These are Kourtney Kardashian's brand, and these are the Glow Gummies. These are hair, skin and nails with biotin, collagen, and a pro retinol formula. You get 60 gummies in here, 2 a day, so you end up with like a 30-day supply. I am just not the one to test out supplements because I just don't believe that anything is worth the money. Like, it's so hard to know. Like, it's literally so hard to know. Like, was my skin glowing and my nails stronger in this 30-day period? No. Did I enjoy having my little 2 gummies every single day, feeling like I was on my health and wellness journey, feeling like I was doing something good, I was contributing towards like my glowy skin? Like, yes I did. Am I going to spend like £30 to do it again? No, I'm not. Like, I love you, Kourtney Kardashian. Thank you so much. They were amazing. I'm not going to do it again. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know. I just really struggle with things like this. I don't know whether they work. I'm sure they do work, but for me, I just don't know if they're worth the money. One thing that definitely is worth the money is the Let Me Sleeps. The Let Me Sleeps, let me tell you, they will knock you out like a light. Slept through the flight. Like, they are worth the hype. I can see those working. Therefore, for me, definitely worth the money. Like, I would take those. I'm out. I'm done. See you in the morning. So for me, definitely worth the investment. I'd definitely buy those again. I know that they're working. I can see them working. Things like this, I just don't know if they're working. You might find that you have a better experience with things like this if you have a particular struggle with your hair, skin, or nails. You know, if your nails feel really brittle, try them, see if they work out. If you're really struggling with your skin or hair in that period, it might help. But if you're generally not struggling with those things and then you take these, you're probably not going to notice a difference, you know? Did I enjoy the experience? Absolutely. Do they taste delicious? Absolutely. Are they packed with great ingredients? Absolutely. I'm going to spend my money on them. Personally, no, but I understand why if you did want to dabble in a little hair, skin and nail gummy. You know, I'm sure it's not doing any harm. It can only be doing us good. That wraps up my beauty empties for today. I love this basket. This is the basket that I use every time. It sits up there on the top of my wardrobe. I fill it with all of my goodies and then I share it with you whenever I'm done. So thank you so much for watching. If you've made it all the way to the end, listening to me witter on for the best part of half an hour probably at this point, I love you so much. Please do subscribe while you're here. Take you 2 little seconds. I'll just wait for you. I'll give you literally 2 seconds. Just go and find that little button. Give it a tap. It's somewhere on the screen. Thank you so much. Love you forever. I'm hopefully back, so please stay tuned for lots of other videos to come. Let me know if you want another beauty empties because I am rapidly getting through some more products, so I will continue to collect. I'll leave everything linked down below if you want to check out any of the products from today's video. Thank you for watching and I will see you all in the next one.